Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Might be afternoon for you, I guess, or evening even. It's morning for us, and fresh, brisk day, but we're sitting in Russell Square, right?
Yeah.
And right in front of us, you can't see it, maybe we'll do a shot, there's these beautiful little flowers that are starting to blossom, and behind us you can kind of see it right there. Those are
Daffodils.
Daffies. So the daffodils are coming up, so even though it's quite chilly, but there's a sense that actually spring is sprung, and you can see it in nature. Nice. So here we are again. I guess this will be coming up to our second year. Right, we started...
didn't it? We started in lockdown.
Which was 20 what?
20.
Yeah, it's only 2022.
Yeah, so...
Second year.
Huh?
Third year. Okay, yeah, so in 2020, in 2021, and then 2022. It sounds like two to me, but we're not going to get into the maths now. Whichever it is, 2 or 3, or it could be even 6 or 7, depending on how you calculate. But it's, I'm just feeling the experience of sitting and watching, the summer pass and the winter come and it being cold. And then here it is, just like the famous verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which I always get to say, Matra Sparsha Kunteya Shitoshno Sukha Dukataha Agama Piyano Nichastam Satiksha. The non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance of the winter and summer seasons. They simply arise from sense perception. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Not an easy thing.
No.
Okay, so I guess we should begin.
Yes, please.
All right.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Arctic breeze just kicked up.
It's cold, man. Alright, Canto 3, Chapter 22, Text 1. The chapter is the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. Ooh. Text 1. Sri Maitreya said, after describing the greatness of the emperor's manifold qualities and activities, the sage became silent, and the emperor, feeling modesty, addressed him as follows. Text 2. Manu replied, to expand himself in Vedic knowledge, Lord Brahma, the personified Veda, from his face created you, the Brahmanas, who are full of austerity, knowledge and mystic power, and are averse to sense gratification.
Interesting.
Purport. The purpose of the Vedas is to propagate the transcendental knowledge of the absolute truth. The Brahmanas were created from the mouth of the Supreme Person, and therefore they are meant to spread the knowledge of the Vedas in order to spread the glories of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says that all the Vedas are meant for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is especially mentioned here, Yoga Yuktan Alampatan, that Brahmanas are full of mystic power and are completely averse to sense gratification. Actually, there are two kinds of occupations. One occupation in the material world is sense gratification, and the other occupation is spiritual activity, to satisfy the Lord by His glorification. Those who engage in sense gratification are called demons, and those who spread the glories of the Lord or satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord are called demigods.
Wow, that's pretty black and white.
It is, I was just reading it. It is specifically mentioned here that the Brahmanas are created from the face of the cosmic personality or Virat Purusha. Similarly, the Kshatriyas are said to be created from his arms, the Vaishyas are created from his waist, and the Shudras are created from his legs. Brahmanas are especially meant for austerity, learning and knowledge, and are averse to all kinds of sense gratification.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, Brahmanas are averse to sense gratification.
Yeah, that seems to be the powerful theme. And, yeah, they're naturally inclined to serve the Lord and give pleasure to the Lord's senses, so they're not interested in sense gratification for themselves, which is why they could be trusted to kind of almost be aloof from the Varnashram system, although they're part of it, but they're not really meant to be governed over by the Kshatriyas, because they don't need governing. The Kshatriyas govern over and create a space of righteousness and justice, because there are many lawbreakers. They don't work within the conscripts or the confines of Dharma, but the Brahmins are completely compelled by that. And that's also why so much charity could be given to them, because they weren't interested in keeping it for themselves to enjoy sense gratification. So even though, I was just hearing in the 6th canto, King Chitraketu, I think he gave like millions of cows in charity when his son was born. He gave it to the Brahmanas. But the Brahmanas would then inadvertently just give it away. It's not like they'd keep it and start a money-making, profiteering business. So that's the nature of the Brahmins, that they're not interested in sense gratification, so they're naturally renounced, something like that. Does that make sense, or?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Text 3. For the protection of the Brahmanas, the 1,000-legged Supreme Being created us, the Kshatriyas. So they're protected. The Brahmanas are protected by the Kshatriyas, but they're not necessarily governed over by them. From his 1,000 arms. Sorry, let me read that again. Sorry. For the protection of the Brahmanas, the 1,000-legged Supreme Being created us, the Kshatriyas, from his 1,000 arms. Hence, the Brahmanas are said to be his heart and Kshatriyas his arms. Now, of course, usually we hear that the Brahmanas are the
arms.
No,
stomach.
Head.
Oh.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Feet, toenails, corns on the feet. No, they're usually considered the head. The Kshatriyas are considered the arm. That's why Srila Prabhupada would often say that society is headless, because it doesn't have Brahmins who are guiding it and leading. Purport. Kshatriyas are specifically meant to maintain the Brahmanas, because if the Brahmanas are protected, then the head of civilization is protected. Brahmanas are supposed to be the head of the social body. If the head is clear and has not gone mad, then everything is in proper position. The Lord is described thus: Namo Brahmanya Deva Yago Brahmana Hitaya Cha. The purport of this prayer is that the Lord specifically protects the Brahmanas and the cows, and then he protects all other members of society. Jagaditaya. It is his will that universal welfare work depends on the protection of cows and Brahmanas. There you go. Thus, Brahminical culture and cow protection are the basic principle of human civilization. Kshatriyas are especially meant to protect the Brahmanas, as is the supreme will of the Lord. Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. As the heart is a very important part within the body, so the Brahmanas are also the important element in human society. The Kshatriyas are more like the whole body. Even though the whole body is bigger than the heart is more important. Well, there you go. So that's clear. So why are the Brahmanas important? It's a question to you.
Why?
Why I'm asking you a question? Because I thought we were here to have a conversation. Anyway, no, it's important.
Because they are the heart.
Oh, okay, so they're the heart, but why are they considered the heart?
Because they're the source of running the body.
They're the source of running the body. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a general question in one sense. I mean, they're so dear to Krishna. The brahmanas and the cows are the essence of all welfare work, is what Prabhupada's saying in this purport. So why does Krishna deem it so important to protect the brahmanas? Why are they considered so valuable, them and the cows? Why do we think? Maybe we can leave it as an open question and you can put it in the comments and we can get some interaction here. I mean, I have an answer, but...
Why don't you just answer it then?
Okay. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Paragam Sarapa Shanti Surya Devi Vichakshurata Tam Tam Viprasho Vapanyavo Jagrim Sasminda Te Vishnu Oriya Param Param. So the Brahmins are worshipable. He just dropped his earbud. The Brahmanas are worshipable by even Krishna, because they worship Krishna. So they become dear to the Lord because the Lord is dear to them. Does that make sense? So because their whole life is meant to be revolving around the worship of the Lord, therefore they become dear to the Lord because that's the nature of the Lord. The Lord is Bhaktivedanta, that he becomes very much endeared to his devotees, so much that he'll become the servant of his devotees. So therefore the Brahmanas create and generate spiritual culture. They create the environment that is conducive to the worship of the Lord, and so therefore the Lord sees that it's vitally important to protect the Brahmanas and have strong Brahmin community like that. That's what I would say as an answer. But if you have a different answer, which there may be plenty of other answers, then please put it in the comment section.
Okay, text 4. That is why the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other as well as themselves, and the Lord himself, who is both the cause and effect, and is yet immutable, protects them through each other. Purport. The entire social structure of Varna and Ashram is a cooperative system meant to uplift all to the highest platform of spiritual realization. The Brahmanas are intended to be protected by the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas also are intended to be enlightened by the Brahmanas. When the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas cooperate nicely, the other subordinate divisions, the Vaishyas or mercantile people and the Shudras or labor class, automatically flourish. The entire elaborate system of Vedic society was therefore based on the importance of the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. The Lord is the real protector, but he is unattached to the affairs of protection. He creates Brahmanas for the protection of the Kshatriyas and Kshatriyas for the protection of the Brahmanas. He remains aloof from all activities. Therefore, he is called Nirvikara, without activity. He has nothing to do. He is so great that he does not perform action personally, but his energies act. The Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and anything that we see are different energies acting upon one another.
So Kshatriyas and Brahmins are meant to cooperate together to protect one another. Kshatriyas protect kind of the physical aspect, the material aspect, and the Brahmanas protect the dharma of the Kshatriyas by giving them advice and guidance how to function. So it's very powerful. Although individual souls are all different, the super self or super soul is the supreme personality of Godhead. Individually, oneself may differ from others in certain qualities and may engage in different activities, such as those of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya. But when there is complete cooperation among different individual souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul, Paramatma, being one in every individual soul, is pleased and gives them all protection. As stated before, the Brahmanas are produced from the mouth of the Lord, and the Kshatriyas are produced from the chest or arms of the Lord. If the different castes or social sections, although apparently differently occupied in different activities, nevertheless act in full cooperation, then the Lord is pleased. This is the idea of the institution of 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams. If the members of different ashrams and Varnas cooperate fully in Krishna consciousness, then society is well protected by the Lord without a doubt. So Prabhupada said that, you show your love for me by how you cooperate together, and we see cooperation is very pleasing to the Lord. So Yeah, let's try to cooperate. Easier said than done. Think it's your paragraph?
Oh, good. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the Lord is the proprietor of all different bodies. The individual soul is the proprietor of his individual body, but the Lord clearly states, "My dear Bharat, you must know that I am also Kshetragya." Kshetragya means the knowledge or proprietor of the body. The individual soul is the proprietor of the individual body, but the super soul, the personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the proprietor of all bodies everywhere. He is the proprietor not only of human bodies, but of birds, beasts, and all other entities, not only on this planet, but on other planets also. He is the supreme proprietor, therefore he does not become divided by protecting the different individual souls. He remains one and the same. That the sun appears on top of everyone's head when at the meridian does not imply that the sun becomes divided. One man thinks that the sun is on his head only, whereas 5,000 miles away another man is thinking that the sun is only on his head. Similarly, the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, is one, but he appears to individually oversee each individual soul. This does not mean that the individual soul and the super soul are one. They are one in quality as spirit soul, but the individual soul and super soul are different. Yeah, just using that material example of the sun, you know, the sun is so great. It is like, you know, well, it's not on our heads now, but hopefully one day it will be. And then it will be on the head of my auntie in a little dusty village in India, and then on some tribal lord in Africa, you know, like that, and some cheerleaders in California again. So, and that's just the sun, you know, that's just a material element. What to speak of the person behind the sun? If you know, you could just study the moon and the sun and appreciate how great they are in the material elements, to then think, God, where did all this come from, you know? I mean, not to go back to this, what I've said before, but it just means, at least theoretically, you need to understand there may be some law and order behind all this, beyond, you know, the limited brains of the PhDs who don't even know how to grow a tomato without the natural elements. That's all I've got to say.
Amazing.
And the parrots have confirmed it.
Yes, they have.
It's so cold. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're going to stop now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you all again next time for Bhagavatam Bites. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, spread the word, read the Bhagavatam. Nitai go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.